And all right, here we go. I see people filing in. Great, great. Welcome to our webinar. We'll give just a minute for everybody to get in here. Yay, yay, okay. I need to get this going live on Facebook too, so that our entire community can join us if they would like to, if they didn't get registered on time. All right. Welcome, everyone. Please let us know where you're coming from, where you are, what you're doing. If you are currently already authoring children's books or are thinking about it, I'd love to know that as well. You know the drill. We do this a lot. So, all right, let's see here. We have enough people to say we have a quorum, so I'm going to get us kicked off and get started. Just a few things. We'll go through. Okay, we've got folks from Colorado and Oregon, Virginia, formatting for teacher supplemental. That's great. We've got Deborah's got many children's books in the educational venue, and she's from California. We've got North Carolina, Philadelphia. Yay, Sacramento. Okay, great. Calgary, awesome. Querying now, that's great. A kid's devotional, that sounds very interesting, and one that I would think would be pretty easy to build an email list around. So since that's the topic that we're talking about today, all right, we're going to go ahead and get this started. For those of you who are new to our audience, maybe saw the post someplace, maybe somebody shared this post with you. I'm Alexa Bigwarf. I'm the host of the Women in Publishing Summit, as well as founder and CEO of Write, Publish, Sell. All of these things that we do are dedicated to bringing you the educational resources that you need to grow yourself as an author, to grow your author business, to sell more books, to help you through the process of writing and publishing, the production, all of those things. And we focus a lot of time and energy on, because you have a book, you've got to sell it. So that's, we want to bring as many resources as we can. You may be familiar with Karin Ferreira already. She is the CEO of Children's Book Mastery. She works with children's book authors to get their books written, self-published, or published through other means, illustrated, and of course, marketed. And she is a sponsor of the Women in Publishing Summit. She's been a great friend and partner over the last couple of years. We're very excited to announce, actually, I didn't tell Karin we were going to announce it today, but keep an eye on your email, because if you were on our email list already last year, Karin and I did a one-day VIP children's book event, and this year we're going to be doing that again. I think it's 2 days this year, isn't it? Did we say that? I'm not even sure. Look, keep an eye on your emails for 2 days. Yes, a 2-day event in October where we're really going to dig into all the things with children's book authors. So keep an eye out on your email for that. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now, other than to say that if you've been in my community for a while, you hear me talking about the email list a lot. It is your most useful and least expensive when it comes to marketing budget tool that you will have. But more importantly, when someone is on your email list, they are your warmest audience. They are the people who are going to be your biggest fans, and they're going to be the ones who are most likely to buy your book when it comes out on launch day. They're most likely to be really excited and enthused about anything that you are doing. And from my perspective, your email list is the most important asset that you hold. And we focus a lot on email list growth and how to get people on the email list. I've seen too many times where people's social media was completely taken down, or they lost everything. And with your email list, you own this resource, and you don't have to worry about someone taking it down or away from you. The worst thing that happens with an email list is that people unsubscribe, and that's okay, because if they unsubscribe, they are probably not going to be buying your books or doing the things that you're promoting to them anyway. So this is a very important topic. I'm really excited to see so many of you here. I know with our authors that we've worked with with over the past decade, the difference in book sales between those who have a healthy email list and those who do not is just, it's monumental. So this is a fundamental aspect of pretty much any marketing strategy that I ever teach. So Karin is here today to talk specifically to children's book authors about how you can start growing that list and the things that you can do. So I am going to just remind you that there is a Q&A box that you can use to ask questions. Please utilize that for questions only. That way we don't miss anything when it comes time for the Q&A portion of this at the end of the webinar. And you can enable the closed captions if you'd like. This is being recorded. If you can't attend the whole presentation live, need to leave early, or of course, if you're one of our replay, then you obviously know that it's recorded, but you can go, we will send it out within 24 hours. However, it will be loaded to YouTube first. And of course, it's live on Facebook right now. So if you want to catch it sooner than it's loaded and sent out to you, you can go over to the Women in Publishing Summit Facebook page, not the group, the page, and you can see that in the recordings. Okay, Karin, are you ready? Are you ready to take the reins?
I'm very ready. Thank you for that great introduction. And you kind of covered my first few slides, so I could skip them.
Well, and I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that I don't forget to say, you know, it is our greatest honor to have you as a sponsor. And thank you so much for what you do to support this. Our sponsors help us bring these free training and wonderful opportunities every month. So thank you so much for that partnership and all that you've helped us do to grow and to provide valuable content to our community.
Yeah, well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, good. So let's get into it. So as Alexa said, I'm Karin Ferreira, and I am very excited to have you here. And we're going to be talking about how to get your first 100 email subscribers and beyond, plus an extremely limited special opportunity being made available when you take action on a first come, first serve basis. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to go fairly quickly because I have like quite a lot to go through. If my slides will advance is the question. There we go. Okay, so in particular, we are going to focus on how to build your email list using a reader magnet without getting overwhelmed, even if you don't know where to start. And why is it important to build your email list? So this is what Alexa just explained so beautifully, but I like to tell this story. Picture this. You're young, you're single, you're looking for a life partner, you really want to find someone, and you go out, you meet someone amazing, you have a few laughs, you have a wonderful conversation, you think they have all the potential in the world, and at the end of the night you go, oh, well, it was so nice to meet you, bye, and you go your separate ways. And you didn't get their number or anything. That would be pretty dumb, right? To just leave it up to a chance encounter. And it's really the same when you pass on a prospect's email address, because whether it's to sell them your first book or later books, if they have any interest at all and you have no way of contacting them, it's more or less guaranteed that they're not just going to accidentally run into you again and buy your book. So you want to get that email so you can keep the contact. And without an email list, you're always starting from scratch, so to speak. Email is the most effective online marketing channel by far. No matter what other marketing you do, you are losing out if you don't gather email addresses so you can contact people whenever you want to. So whereas social media, as Alexa just said, or being a guest on other media, on podcasts, on blogs, etc., is all borrowed media. Email is owned media, right? You own it. No one can suspend your account. No one can take it away from you. The list is yours to keep. So unless you're going to gather physical addresses and phone numbers and actually write letters or phone people, email is definitely the way to go. And that makes it powerful that it's owned media. So here are just a few numbers to drive the point home. I like numbers. So research shows that gaining a new customer is anywhere from 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining one. So once you have someone's email, that falls straight into the retaining, basically, right? I mean, they still have to buy, but that's way less expensive than trying to get new people all the time. And then in different studies, it's been found that it takes many touch points to make a sale. So a touch point is really just any point of contact or communication, whether that be a meeting, face-to-face, phone call, social media post, ad, anywhere where you kind of contact someone. And studies used to show that you need 5 to 7 touch points. In 2020, a study showed it had risen from 15 to 21. And some people even say now it takes 25 to 30 touch points, possibly with how busy the internet and everything is. But without someone's email, it's really very hard to have more than 1 or 2 touch points. Even if they're on your social media, it takes a lot longer to get all those touch points and to get quality touch points, meaning again, you'll lose most of your potential sales. And then email marketing on average has 50 to 100 times more people clicking on your link than Facebook or Twitter. That is a huge number. So if you post your book on Facebook or Twitter and say, hey, go have a look at my book, 50 to 100 times less people will click on it, on top of the fact that way less people will even see your post in the first place. So as you can see, building an email list really dramatically increases your chances of selling books. And just because someone doesn't buy your book on first contact doesn't mean they won't buy it. And that's a mindset shift I find a lot of authors need to make. Is it's not like, hey, here's my book. Oh, they didn't buy it. Okay, that's it. Like, there's a very good chance that if you keep contacting them, a lot of those people will buy it. Of course, not everyone, but most people will only buy after a few touch points, like we just went over. So your single most valuable asset is your email list. I think Alexa almost said this like word for word, which was amazing. So whatever other marketing you do, all roads should lead to your email list. So we can all agree that having an email list is extremely important, I imagine. And that said, of course, there are challenges that people run into, like being brave enough to set up an email list to connect with people who buy your books. Maybe you feel awkward emailing them, how to gain readers on your email list, how to grow it, where to find people to join it. Maybe you've read about setting up an email list and writing a weekly newsletter and giving out a reader magnet, but you're going, are these really the right steps? And in what order do I do them? If you don't have a book finished or ready to publish, you might wonder how useful will an email list be to you at this time? Maybe feeling like you have no clue what you need to do to make sure that you don't publish to crickets, feeling clueless and overwhelmed, or maybe you just don't know where to even start, right? So I want to tell you, it doesn't have to be so hard. One reader magnet truly can change everything. When you have a reader magnet that works, you can gather thousands of emails with that one reader magnet. So today I'm going to share with you how you can avoid some of the biggest and the most common mistakes that cause authors to fail with building their email lists with reader magnets. So firstly, we're going to cover what a reader magnet is, when you should create one, and then reader magnet options that you can create as a children's book author. So hint, it's not the same as for adult book authors. There's a lot of other options for children's book authors. The 3 biggest reader magnet mistakes, and these are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see children's book authors make with their reader magnet, and why these mistakes lead to no subscribers, and how to create your reader magnet in a way that will attract your target audience, get the right people to actually give you their address, email address, real world examples, and more. So before we get into that, I just want to talk briefly about why you should pay attention to what we're going to be covering and to me, basically. So I'm the founder of Children's Book Mastery, like Alexa said, where I help children's book authors master the process of writing, creating, publishing, and selling their books by providing all the know-how and expert support that they need. And I do this through online courses, a yearly summit, which is coming up in July, and mostly live trainings and author group coaching. And I help authors and aspiring authors, often those who are starting from nothing, not always, not knowing what to do at all, not able to get their book written, to write their manuscript. Last year, I helped over 100 authors to go from idea to completed manuscript, and some of them wrote a few manuscripts. and to get their books completed and illustrated and published, and to get their books launched and marketed the right way with online and offline marketing. I've helped numerous authors launch to #1 or to sell hundreds of copies on pre-order, to sell over 10,000 copies in a few months. So a big part of this is the strategy of building their email lists. And I'm also the founder of Get Your Book Illustrations, where we help authors publish beautiful books through providing them with professional illustrations and book design. And we have a team of about 15 illustrators, and this is really where it all started, because I founded Get Your Book Illustrations in 2016 with the purpose to help authors to illustrate and publish beautiful and professional books. And then in illustrating these books, I really saw the struggles that authors ran into and how they didn't know what to do next, or how they published the book and then nothing happened, right? So that prompted me to start Children's Book Mastery. And it is my mission to assist children's book authors to win on every step of the journey, from writing to publishing to marketing. So that is exactly what I'm doing with Children's Book Mastery. So all of this just to say I'm very familiar with the field of publishing and marketing. So this is just to give you some confidence in what we're going to be covering together. So what is a reader magnet? A reader magnet is a free digital resource like an ebook or a worksheet or a video or a checklist that you use to attract readers and to build your email list. So it's a great tool for authors to use in order to engage with new readers, to build a relationship with them. And reader magnets are typically offered in exchange for someone's email address. So you can then keep in contact with them, keep them informed about updates, new books coming out, or just encourage them to get your existing book. And some people differentiate between a reader magnet and a lead magnet. For the purpose of this training, I don't differentiate at all. In other businesses, we call it a lead magnet because you use it to attract leads for your business. We call it a reader magnet because you're attracting readers. So here's an example of a reader magnet. This is a free mini ebook from Karen McDonald, and you can see she says, sign up for my list, and I'll give you this free thing, right? So here's another one from Vicky Weber. She actually has a lot of creative freebies like activity sheets, coloring pages, but also music sheets, lesson plans. And I want to show you what's possible when you're going to apply what we're going to be learning today. So I specifically chose examples where I can share numbers with you. So Anna Masta is an independent fiction author, and in less than a year, she went from 0 to almost 30,000 subscribers. And they became part of her launch team, follow her on social media, make her book launches successful. And as a result, she sold hundreds of thousands of books and made the USA Today bestseller list. And Tom Morks, who some of you may know, he's actually a nonfiction author, but he's still a relevant example of using a reader magnet. So when he published his first book in 2012, he had no audience. So he gave the book away for free and he made $0. At that point, he then started working on growing his email list. And 2 years later, by 2014, he launched his 4th book via crowdfunding. He did add consulting packages, but he raised almost $13,000 in 30 days from just using his email list of 1,559 people, which you can see is quite a vast difference. So imagine if he'd grown his list to over 30,000 subscribers like Anna Masta. And then my very own children's book author, Kelsey Corey, she published her book, My Friend Breath, with her mom, Meg Gillespie. And she's also an independent author. This can also work for traditionally published or hybrid published authors. As a note, I just have these independent authors as examples. So her first book was the one she worked on with me on the marketing side. And she had no prior experience of any kind or any marketing of any kind really set up. And after training with me, she sold 800 hard copies, not ebooks, on pre-order. So later, I'm going to tell you a bit more about how this worked. So from that, though, you can see it's really evident that there's a direct relationship between the number of subscribers or someone's list size and their sales or their revenue, right? And that's what an email list can do. So the bottom line is, if you have an email list, you will sell books. I have not seen this not to be true. There's probably always an exception to the rule, but I haven't seen it. So when should you create a reader magnet? So the best time for an author to create a reader magnet to grow their email list is really well before the book launch. The earlier, the better. So if you can start a few months to a year before you publish, then great. It's important to start early because that helps you to give you time to grow the list and to create an engaged audience that then you can promote the book to and launch your book to and future books. So the benefits of creating a reader magnet early is, of course, you have more time to grow your list. I'm sure those of you who have worked on this realize it's not easy to grow a massive list in 2 or 3 weeks necessarily. And an efficient way to grow your list because you have a reader magnet, which you're offering for free, right? So that makes it more efficient to grow your list because people are more likely to sign up. And then establishing an engaged audience who will be more likely to buy your book, spread the word about it, support you in your future endeavors, and building relationships with your readers, which will increase your book sales and create a community of loyal readers. So the earlier you can do this and really build relationships, the more supporters you're going to have. So this is how you don't launch to crickets and how you create long-term success. So you might be going, well, I'm already published. What do I do now? So the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now, right? You're much better off starting today or tomorrow than going, oh, it's too late and not starting. It's never too late to start working on your email list. So let's get into the 3 reader magnet mistakes. And these are the reasons that I see why most authors don't get great results or any results. So I'm going to cover them one by one. So first is a bonus mistake. So this is just not having a reader magnet at all. So it might be very obvious, but it's actually such a common mistake that I just had to include it. I know it can be overwhelming or daunting, or if you're a perfectionist, you might be like, well, I have to do exactly the perfect thing and I don't know how to do that. So if you tend to overthink, or if you just haven't gotten around to putting a reader magnet on your site or on a landing page, then just make sure that you actually do that. No matter how imperfect it is, it's better to have one than not have one, right? Okay, so let's get into the 3 real mistakes. So mistake number 1 is not understanding their target audience. And this I see very often that authors run into this in terms of a mistake with their reader magnet. So it's essential to have a clear understanding of who you're targeting with your reader magnet, and knowing who your ideal buyer or reader is will help you to create a reader magnet that's more likely to be attractive to the people who want to sign up for your list. So this mistake will really make or break your success with a reader magnet, because if you offer something that no one in your target audience really wants, then you're not going to get any email signups. So for children's book authors, it can be a bit more tricky because you are marketing to the adults and you are your books are for kids, and your reader magnet is also very often for kids, right? So when creating a reader magnet for your children's book, you really must understand the interest and the values and the needs of the adults who's going to be downloading the reader magnet, whether it be for them or for their kids or for their students if they're teachers. And you have to understand the interest of your target audience, because that will help you to create a reader magnet that's actually attractive to them. And some options for children's book authors that would appeal to your target audience if you do it correctly, of course, is a free ebook or a section of your ebook. If you have like a novel, you can just give away a section. An audio recording of a reading of your book. You could read it or someone else could read it. A guide or a case study. So if your book helps kids with self-confidence or helps parents to get their kids to sleep or things like that, you could create a guide or case study around that topic and use that. A lesson plan for teachers or homeschooling parents, coloring pages or a coloring book, activity pages or an activity book, a list of related resources, meaning if you compile 5 great articles or videos or other resources like that, that's similar to the guide that can help people with something related to the topic of your book, or a goodies bundle like a printable bookmark, an activity, and a coloring sheet. So on top of the fact of knowing who your target audience is so you can create something they would want, it will also help you to reach them, because obviously if you know more about them, you'll know where are they, where can I find them, what can I say to attract them, which keyword searches do they do, what pages are they on online, right? So you can target correctly and reach them effectively. So that's mistake number 1. And then mistake number 2 is not offering enough value. And this I also see extremely often. Not offering value is a big mistake, because if you don't provide something, again, of value that parents or teachers or other adults will find attractive and useful, they're not going to opt in to your list, right? So if you're offering something that has real value, you'll get more people subscribing to your list. If you offer something that's just really easy to find elsewhere, or that feels like it won't add anything to the person's life, it's very easy to just go, nah, click away, and that's the end of it, right? So I see people saying, you know, sign up and I'll send you 1 printable bookmark or 1 coloring page. And generally that's too easy to click away from. It's not enough value. So you want to make the reader magnet valuable enough so people who see it really want it enough to give their email address. And the first part is to understand your target audience, as we've gone over. And in this, you can actually even ask parents or teachers what they find valuable, or give them a list of options and say, hey, what would you actually sign up for to some stranger's email address? What would you actually opt in for, right? And how you position it is also really important. For instance, if you have on your page, sign up for this free guide, I mean, that's okay. But how about if you say, sign up for this exclusive guide on how to reduce screen time without meltdowns? A lot more people will be interested then, right? Or sign up for activity sheets versus sign up for fun activity sheets that will improve your child's learning and comprehension skills and teach them the importance of recycling through real-world activities. So it's important that you also choose your wording well to encourage people to actually sign up for it. So one of the best tips that I can give you on this is to step out of your role as the author, out of yourself, and into the role of a parent or teacher who doesn't know you at all. So you're just a stranger on the internet to them. In fact, when they see your reader magnet, they might not even know anything about you at all. They might only be seeing the reader magnet, right? And then look at your reader magnet or your idea and decide if it's valuable enough that you would actually give your email to someone for it. So it has to be really, there's no emotion involved. You just really want the reader magnet itself. You're not going to opt in for any other reason than that, right? Okay, and mistake number 3 is not promoting the reader magnet. And when you create a reader magnet, it's essential to promote the magnet so that people who are searching for books for their kids, your target audience, will actually see your reader magnet. If you just put it up online, it's just going to sit there. So you can promote your reader magnet on social media. If you're on social media, you can promote it in your emails and say, hey, encourage other people to go get this freebie. You can get it for yourself, but you can tell others about it. You can post about it and include the link to the sign up page. So you obviously want to have a page online where people sign up and get the reader magnet. And then you just encourage parents and teachers to download it. But you can also consider promoting it other ways. And I would strongly suggest that you promote it other ways. For instance, cross promotions, where you do newsletter swaps, where you send out an email for another author and they send out an email for you to your respective audiences, and you promote one another. Or also promotional services like Story Origin and BookFunnel, where you can put a reader magnet on there and you'll get more people to download it. And other marketing strategies, like you can partner with bloggers, influencers who have your target audience, And these partners can help you to spread the word and promote the Reader Magnet to their own audiences. And the great thing about this is you're not asking, hey, promote me, or hey, promote my book. You're saying, I have this great freebie, this free thing I want to give to your audience. So then it makes them look good because they're giving away something free, and it's a win-win situation, right? So I recommend when you get signups for your Reader Magnet to put them on their own list or group within your email automation. Those of you who have an email service provider will know you have different lists or groups where you can say, you know, people who bought my book are maybe in one, people who only got my Reader Magnet are in another one, people who came from some other place are in this one, because then you can send out tailored emails to this group and it will be suitable to this group. So to review, these are the 3 mistakes when creating a Reader Magnet. So it's not understanding your target audience, not offering enough value, and not promoting the Reader Magnet. So, you know, these may seem kind of like foundational, but, you know, I find that foundational and basic things are normally where most people go wrong. And if you actually do these 3 things, your Reader Magnet will be successful. So the question is, when you avoid these mistakes, what happens, right? So let's go back to our case studies from earlier. So I mentioned about Anne and Tom and Kelsey, who got thousands of people onto their email list, and they started seeing real results in terms of their book sales and their revenue. So when Tom first published his book in 2012, he had no audience, like I said. And he was smart. He decided he's going to give that book away in exchange for people signing up for his newsletter. So he actually used it as a Reader Magnet. He made the book into a Reader Magnet. And then in 2013, when he released his second book, he did it on a pay what you want basis, where people could just pay what they want for the book, but they could also take the book for free if they wanted to. And then he made $500 from his list of 166 subscribers. So you can see that just from giving the first book away, $500 might not be mind-blowing, but we can all agree that it's way better than $0, right? And then in 2013, again, in the same year, he released his third book, and now his list was up to 500 subscribers, and he made just under $1,000. So he was growing quite nicely. And then and this is all to his list. He just used his list, right? And then in 2014, he launched his 4th book via crowdfunding. I have to add here, he did add a consulting package to this one. So he raised just under $13,000 in 30 days from his list of now 1,600 people. So you can see how the dollars and the list size grow together, right? So just as a note, when he only sold books without the consulting package, he made anywhere between $2.04 and $2.96 per email subscriber. So you can say, can't remember the word, but the average it, there we go, at $2.50, right? So whatever you might make, you can see now he had this list where if he sent out an email, he could make around $2.50 per person on the list, per subscriber. And of course, you can publish more books, and you can get more subscribers and more subscribers. So this is a really scalable model. And then Kelsey, who worked with me, was completely brand new. She did a training of mine called the Bestseller Book Launch Bootcamp, and she applied what she learned there. She focused on building her email list mainly. And you can see she got 772 pre-order sales. It was actually up to about 800 by the time she launched. And before the book went live, right? Like 800 pre-orders. So these were all physical copies, I want to say as well. These were not ebooks, which I found really great. So this is also a brand new person who focused on building their list and sold literally 800 books before the book was even published. So there really are many examples like this. I have really seen numerous people have had various levels of success, but I mean, good to excellent success with building their lists when they just did it, right? So this really is possible for anyone to do. So You might still have some questions though, because this is a really big topic. So like, how do you gain readers on your email list and consistently grow it? Where do you find the people to join your list? How do you build your list in an affordable way? How do you create like a really great reader magnet that will get people to subscribe? And what exactly should you include in it? And then there's tech stuff like, where do you put the reader magnet and how do you get people to sign up? And then how do you get that emails added to your email list and send it out and all of that? How can you use your email list, like do's and do nots? How do you get all this done? If maybe it just feels scary or you feel clueless and overwhelmed, which I know can happen. So at this point, you have two options. So you can take the information you learned here and you can go ahead and implement it on your own. And if you use what I just went over, it will absolutely help you, I have no doubt. Or for those of you who are interested, you can join me for a very special, brand new opportunity. I've never done this one before. So because you've taken the time to attend this webinar, I want to make this special opportunity available to you. And it's called the List Building Bootcamp. And in short, it's give me 3 days and follow my formula. And you'll walk away with a reader magnet that gets email signups, a plan for how to get people to your reader magnet and signed up, and more. So this is a 3-day live deep dive online training. It's delivered by me in real time. I'll guide you and we'll take action following my exact reader magnet recipe to make more progress in 3 days than most people make in 3 months. That's the aim, and that's what's happened on previous boot camps. And then we'll get stuff done. So you won't leave with only knowledge, but you will leave with everything you need, fully mapped out. So this is a step-by-step training, taking you through the entire process of planning and creating your reader magnet and everything else you need to grow your email list. And it's interactive, so you can build connections and relationships with fellow attendees for support and future collaboration, which tends to be quite popular with the participants. We have Q&A sessions all throughout, like lots of Q&A sessions where I answer all your questions. So I never move forward with confusions. You know, I always make sure we catch everything before we move on. And then regardless of where you're at now, at 0, at 100, at 5,000, whatever your email subscribers are, if you want to grow your list with a reader magnet, then this bootcamp is for you. So I just want to tell you a bit more on what it entails and includes. So first we start with a kickoff call a week before the bootcamp. And this is about a 60 to 90 minute call. And on the call, we're going to get crystal clear on who you want to subscribe to your list, so you can create a reader magnet that works. And you're going to discover a powerful method that I've never taught before to create what people actually want, not what you think they want. So no more guessing games. And then on day 1, we're going to cover what is a funnel and what is its purpose, a marketing funnel, the components of a successful funnel, how your reader magnet relates to your funnel, crafting the perfect reader magnet that's valuable and relevant and gets you results. We're going to cover types of reader magnets you can create that would interest your target audience and the 3 steps of successful marketing, like 3 very exact steps, important factors to consider when creating your reader magnet, and the components of your reader magnet so it gets results. So when you do this right, you can also do what Kelsey Corey did and get this 800 pre-order sales, or Tom and Anne, you know, that got 30,000 people on their list in a year, or made all that $13,000. Even if you did 1/10 of that, just imagine what a difference it would make, right? And then on day 2, we're going to go over creating the reader magnet. So I'm going to give you step-by-step guidance on that. Understand the ins and outs and the purpose of a landing page, how to craft an engaging landing page, including the best layouts, the best copy, like the text you put on it, strategies, how to create an effective opt-in form, how to create an effective, and how to store and deliver your reader magnet. And then we're going to do hot seats for feedback on day 3. So only for those who are interested, I'll choose a couple and actually give feedback and go over your reader magnets that you're working on. And we're going to go into what to send to your new subscribers and keep them engaged in the short and long term, because it doesn't help to build a list if you don't know what to do with it, right? Different ways to drive people to your landing page so you can get more subscribers, and putting it all together. So creating your funnel from start to finish. So I just want to give you some feedback on previous boot camps. I have never done this list building boot camp, but I have done other boot camps. Okay, so I wanted to just give you a little bit of how other people experienced it. So Nancy Pushkar said, Karen, this boot camp is so much more than I expected. You are not only beyond impressive with the knowledge you share, but your ability to talk and continue to deliver all the information you give us enthusiastically in an 8-hour day is amazing. Thank you to the 10th power and more. Again, thank you. I feel rather unstoppable, which is an awesome way to feel. And then we have Kelsey Corey, who I've spoken about. So she said, as I spent time reflecting on this amazing experience, I realized thank you doesn't feel big enough to express the depths of gratitude I feel for the last 3 days we shared. The extensive curriculum was incredible. Karen Ferreira, your teaching approach and delivery is awe-inspiring. The way you paced it all out, so patiently addressed each of our questions, and provided detailed reference materials is exceptional. I am beyond grateful to have found you to learn from. And then she also said, and to my fellow boot campers, wow, wasn't it wonderful to get to connect and cheerlead each other on our author journeys. Every breakout room was such a special space where I got to learn from and share with each from you. And I'm excited to stay connected and continue supporting each other as our book babies come to life. So I just wanted to share a bit of how people have experienced past boot camps. So some of you are probably wondering, how much is it going to cost? So before I explain the price, I just want to tell you about the free bonuses that will be included, okay? So I always think what can help you get better results, really get full success. And that's what I thought about with these bonuses. So it's really crucial, firstly, to drive traffic to your reader magnet, as I went over. And this will really increase the likelihood of your reader magnet being seen and then growing your list. So bonus number 1 is a live training where I'll go over driving traffic to your reader magnet. So it will be a 60-minute live training with me. You'll get access to the recording and a workbook and checklist so you can easily execute. And we will go over things like exact ways that work to drive traffic to your reader magnet. We're going to go over that a bit in the bootcamp, but I wanted to put more time into it, into extra ways that you can do that. Cost-effective paid and free traffic options, numerous options so you can choose which ones you want to use, and ways to track the success of your traffic so you can do more of what works. So this is $150 value, but this will be for free with the bootcamp. And then with any marketing, the real work really begins after you create the landing page or the ad or whatever. Marketing is test, and optimize. You observe and you tweak and so on. And that's just an integral part of marketing. So optimizing your reader magnet and your landing page is essential if you want to capture more leads. And it will also help you to create a better user experience, which will help to get more loyalty and sales. So bonus number 2 is another live training. It's Rock Your Reader Magnet with Optimization. And will also be a 60-minute live training call with me with a recording and a workbook and a checklist so you can easily execute what you learn. And you're going to find out which benchmarks to look for, which is really important. Otherwise, you're like, I don't know if my thing's doing well or not. What do I even look for, right? Discover the number 1 optimization law in marketing. And I'll share an optimization checklist with you, which will be a checklist of literally every point. What do you check first and fix it if needed? What do you check next and fix it? So you don't just feel like you're just shooting in the dark and trying to fix things, but you can actually fix things in sequence to improve results. And I'll also share some advanced but easy to use tools that will help you improve your results. So this is also $150 value that you'll get for free. And then bonus number 3 is once you have taken action and your reader magnet has been out in the world for a while, you'll probably have some questions come up. So a few weeks after the bootcamp, we'll do a live Q&A session to get all of those answered. And we'll review a couple of your landing pages and your reader magnets that are out there in the wild. And this is about taking it all the way over the finish line and beyond. So you really have the biggest chance of good success. And this is $120 value, which will again be for free with the bootcamp. And then the last bonus number 4, is you should really send all subscribers a few emails to introduce them to you as an author in your books and existing and upcoming books. And this is called a welcome sequence, right? So a welcome sequence is important because without it, people are much more likely to unsubscribe because they don't actually know you. They just got a freebie, but then they start getting emails and they're like, who's this? Or they don't really know who you are. So it's easy to unsubscribe. A welcome sequence also builds relationships with new subscribers, introduces them to what you have to offer. It sets expectations for the type of content that they'll be receiving from you. It helps to establish trust and credibility, which is essential for keeping them engaged and get their support to buy your book. So it's really important. And that brings us to bonus number 4, which is an email welcome sequence, email welcome sequences to send to your list. So I will give you 5 email welcome sequences, and you can choose, mix and match, use just one sequence as it is. And it's really plug and play. You're just going to alter it a little bit with, your relevant information or your book title or whatever it might be, and warm up and welcome your new subscribers. And you can just set this to go out automatically and get on with other things. So these are easy to customize emails that you can tailor within minutes and you're set. So it will be all the crucial emails that you need to start strong and set expectations and start building relationships. And it's really geared to establish trust and credibility to help get long-term support and book sales. So this can really help once you get people on your list to actually get results with your list. Okay, and that is a $300 value, but of course you'll get it for free, right? So some of you are going, okay, fine. So what is it going to cost? So I charge minimum $50 an hour since a few years ago. So at that rate, I worked out it would be $1,000 for just delivering the bootcamp without any of the preparation or anything like that. With the preparation, it would be over $6,000, but let's just say $1,000 for the delivery. Or a really fair comparison would be bootcamps I've attended. These are also 3-day events, very, very similar to this bootcamp. And it's 3 payments of $799, which is basically $2,400. So $2,000 to $2,400 would be a comparable bootcamp, right? So, and of course, you're getting the $720 bonuses. So we have this bootcamp price of $2,000 to $2,400, which you're not going to be paying that. And the hourly rate, which is $1,000, but you also won't be paying that. So when you sign up today for the list building bootcamp, the price is only $500. And then of course you get the bootcamp and all the bonuses that I went over. So here is the link to sign up, cbm.training/bootcamp. So cbm.training/bootcamp. So you might be going, well, why am I doing this? Like the bonuses are worth more than the bootcamp, and what's going on here? So the reality is I really love working with action takers. I love working with authors who actually want to make it happen. I want to help you succeed and do well. And also, I do need a favor. So I'm really, really big on feedback. So I will ask you, when you do the bootcamp, to give me feedback on what you thought and what follow-up training you would like. So just a few minutes to let me know if I can improve this bootcamp or how, and what you would like, what other training you would like. So I want to make this a complete no-brainer for you. So I want to be able to work with some of you on building your lists. So, what might be the catch? So I can, of course, only accommodate a limited amount of people because it's a live event. This is also the first run of it. So I do want to limit the amount of participants, and I already have a number of people signed up. So it's on a first come, first serve basis. So that's why it's best if you take action now. The good news is you can move forward right here, right now, 100% risk-free. You are completely protected by our 100% money-back guarantee. if you attend the first full day of the bootcamp and you're not totally happy, you just send us an email and you say, I'm not totally happy, and we just refund your full $500. No questions asked, no hoops to jump through. We'll just refund the money. So to give you the dates, the bootcamp is from the 26th to the 28th of May, 26th to 28th May. It's a Friday to a Sunday. And if you're going to that page and you're running into any trouble, just email support@childrensbookmastery.com and we can help you out, whatever you might be running into. So again, here's the link, cbm.training/bootcamp. But I want to tell you about one other really exciting thing, and that is the fast action super bonus. So for those of you who move forward within the next hour, you will get this fast action super bonus. We'll see the timestamp on your order, of course, and verify that you went ahead. So the ideal way to share a reader magnet is with a landing page, not necessarily on your website. So a landing page targets a particular group of people. It has one specific focus and goal. It has no navigation. It doesn't have home and about and all these things at the top of the page. And it's powerful for getting subscribers because it has the singular focus. So here's just an example of a good, simple landing page that you can see that this is the whole page. There is nothing else. So it can really make a big difference in how many people sign up. So when you sign up for the bootcamp within the next hour, I will give you a very special fast action super bonus, which is we will build your landing page for you. You just create your reader magnet, which of course I will help you with, and then we'll build the landing page for you to get subscribers. So here's an example of something we created. And you can see it's optimized for a laptop, a computer, and a phone, which is important. Here's another quick example. And this is valued at $500. So when you sign up in the next hour, which is, I don't know what it is in your time zone, but before the next top of the hour, you will get this for free. So again, just the link in case you're looking for it, which is cbm.training/bootcamp. I can quickly go there with you and just show you. So if you go there, you will see this and you can recap everything I went over, okay? Because I went over a lot and I know it was quite quick. So you can recap exactly when it is, the dates. You can see the times is from 9 a.m. Eastern and it goes until about 3 p.m. Eastern every day for the 3 days. And if you run into anything, if you click or anything and it doesn't work, there is a chat and you can start a chat here. And if once you've gone through everything and you're happy, you just click sign up now and it will take you to a page like this. And even though it says PayPal, do note you can pay with your credit card. So don't think you can only pay with PayPal. Okay. All right. So in the last few minutes, let's answer a few questions. I'll just leave the link up there. So the dates I always get asked is 26 to 28 May. And let's see what else we have here.
You've got a few questions. Would you like some help going through these or are you good?
I just got them, so I think
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so just drink some tea. Okay. Sandra said, I started my email when I was writing for adults. Maybe you should help me, Alexa. Maybe I'm going to read everything that's not relevant.
Sounds good. Okay, so I started my email when I was writing for adults, my self-published book on prayer. Since starting children's writing, I've gradually changed my website to include children's book reviews, a parent podcast, and some freebies, landing pages. I have around 250 subscribers and I do a quarterly newsletter with almost a 50% open rate. Congratulations on that. I include a variety of things in my newsletter, but my fear is if I begin focusing more in one area or the other, I will lose followers. What do you suggest? What a great question on segmenting the list.
It is, yes, exactly. So I've had people with this situation before, and actually what I suggest is you can start creating two completely separate lists for the children's books and for the adult books. But what I've suggested to people, and it's actually worked, is ask people if they would like to be on both lists. Like, just send out a nice email and explain the situation and say, what would you like to receive emails about? This, or both? And that actually works quite well.
Yes. Okay, to better understand your target audience, should I create a survey asking them what they would want?
Yes, you can definitely do that. I am, as I said, I'm very big on feedback and surveys. So absolutely, yes.
Okay, is there a best practice on how to deliver the reader magnet? I know BookFunnel is pretty standard, but I know some people are very leery of downloading something like a PDF from an email because of malware, etc.
Yeah, you can definitely use things like BookFunnel. It's really good. I also recommend, when you have your own landing page, you can put the PDF in Google Drive, and people can download it directly. That works really well. I get some people are leery of downloading. I kind of find there's a point to where you just have to go, you know what, fine, then I'm not going to worry too much about those people, because the vast majority of people won't be worried. They'll just download it,
I can concur with that. We send PDFs via email all the time, and I can't say that I've ever received a reply from someone saying, I don't want to download this PDF from the email. So knock on wood, now that I've put that into the universe, but
yeah, I have once, but I mean, that's out of thousands of people,
right,
and many PDFs,
Right.
Yeah.
How the other option is, you can always, depending on what your website is, you can always load it to your website too, and have a link directly to that attachment page on your website that you share. We've done that sometimes as well. How likely is it that kids will read ebooks? Depending on the time of year, my print sales are between 85 to 95% of my sales.
That's actually a great question. I don't know if you mean an ebook as the reader magnet, Roseanne, but it's interesting because I always say to picture book authors specifically, I don't know what you write, but picture book authors, I always say, you know what, you can give your ebook away as your reader magnet. And people go, oh, but then no one will buy my book. But 85 to 95% of your sales are the hard copies, right? So kids will read ebooks, but some, of course, it depends on their parents. It doesn't depend so much on the kid, right? It's more the parents' choice. But most adults, when they get the ebook, it's almost a way for them to see if they like the book, which is why the ebook can be a great reader magnet, because then they want the hard copy. They want to sit with the book and read the book to the child, right? So if your book is like a young adult novel, then don't give away the ebook, obviously, which is not what you're asking. But you have to make that judgment call. If I give away the ebook, will people buy the hard copy? But if you're giving away the ebook, even if the kids don't read it, to answer your question, it's a fantastic way for the adult to see, hey, this is a wonderful book, and then buy your book, the hard copy.
I would concur with that tremendously, because I think a lot of people, you're sending the ebook to the parent or the teacher or the librarian or whomever, and they're really looking at the ebook to see, especially as a lead magnet, like Karen was just saying, to see if they even want the book. So
yes,
totally.
I've done that.
I already have 4 to 5 different reader magnets already on my website. How would your class help me? Great question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So this bootcamp is really focused on a few things that would most likely help you. Is I go very in depth into how to create, as I said, a reader magnet that will firstly attract your target audience, that they actually opt in. But then I go into the actual parts that your reader magnet should have. And it's not just content. There's other parts that you should include or attach or append, or things that you should do that actually starts building a relationship and positions you to have a relationship with the person into the future, to start making sales to them. Because many people make the mistake of they just get someone to download the freebie, and then that's kind of the beginning and the end of everything, where you have to set it up so that it continues into the future, right? And you can do something with that. And also I'm going to show you how to do the copy, how to do a landing page firstly, because even though it's on your website, which is good, you should have it on your website too. I'll show you how to do your landing page copy to really entice people to buy it, how to direct more people to it, a lot of stuff on traffic to direct more people to it so you can get more people opting in, and a few more things, which I'm not even going to touch on now, but hopefully that answers it.
Great. Okay, let's see here. Will you do this course again this summer? I'm out of town on these current dates, and will the cost be the same?
I will probably only be doing this again in about a year, because literally my whole year is booked up with other boot camps, and I have 4 different ones, so I'm spacing them out, and then I'm doing that training with Alexa, and I do my summit in July. So unfortunately, it will probably be a year, to be honest. And will the cost be the same? I don't know. I'll see. If it's in a year, I'm not going to comment on that.
Right. Things change. What time is the boot camp each day?
Okay, so it starts at 9 a.m. US Eastern time, and then it goes until roughly 3 p.m. US Eastern time. And we have a morning break, a lunch break, and yeah, that's it. So it's a session, break, session, lunch, session, end.
Perfect. Can you tell us more about the summit in July?
Yeah, so I have wonderful guests like Alexa Bigwell joining me. And I'm interviewing about 25 to maybe a bit more experts in the publishing and self-publishing industry and in the children's book industry, like best-selling authors, people who know about book marketing, the whole gamut from basically how do I get motivated and sit my butt in a chair and write, through writing, through editing, illustrations, publishing, and marketing. And so it will be a free event, or you can pay. It depends what you want to do, but it's your choice. And then you can access the interviews daily. So we release about 5 sessions roughly on the Monday. And then after 2 days, we lock them away. We release 5 sessions on the Tuesday, 5 on the Wednesday, and so on. So you can just watch them in that time frame. That's basically it. Or you can pay to upgrade and keep permanent access. And it comes with all kinds of cool freebies from the speakers and stuff like that too. So it's pretty nice.
Awesome. And it is a great conference. I love being a part of it. So I'll definitely be sending emails about that as we get closer. Don't you worry.
Awesome.
Okay, is the boot camp an all-day event?
Yeah, so it's from 9 to 3, basically. My other boot camps used to run for 8 or more hours, but I do a lot of surveys, and due to that, I made it a little shorter. So 9 to 3.
Okay, let's see here. Nope, you already answered that one. Boot camp probably won't be available till next year. PST, 6 a.m. to noon PST. Yes, that is correct, Michelle.
I know it's very early, and I have had people comment on that for Pacific time. I understand that. But because I'm on South African time, I'm very well ahead of everyone. So if I present until 1 a.m. in the morning, then on day 3, you'll have like a zombie presenting to you, which is also not ideal, right?
It's hard getting all these time zones in. And you're recording everything, right? So if they're not up at 6 a.m. in the morning, they're still going to get the...
Actually not. That's a good question, Alexa.
Great.
The kickoff call has a replay. The kickoff call you can watch afterwards. The 3-day bootcamp is 100% live, but I do it that way for a couple of reasons. Because I find the moment that I've offered that I'll record it, the show up rate's much lower. And then, people are like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
And truly the power of the boot camp is that you come for 3 days. Some people have said I got more done than I did in years in the 3 days, because you sit down, You get the stuff done, you just power through it, and also you get the live Q&As and you connect with the other people. So I just haven't found that making recordings available, it's actually a disservice to the people who sign up, in my estimation.
Okay, that's a great answer. Let's see, and hard for people to hear, because I think we've gotten very used to things being recorded and available. But I gotta say, I agree with you 100% on this. Like, if you don't make the effort to show up live to an event, it so often you never do the work. And if you're going to invest in this, do the work, get it done, carve out the time.
Exactly.
Okay. Would you make a picture book free on Amazon? Is there a way to collect an email at that time?
It's a good question. You can make it free. You have to be part of like KDP Select, but I won't go into all of that, or there's other ways to do it, but you can absolutely. But obviously you have to have a plan then in terms of, if you make one free, do you have others that you then sell, or are you making it free for a limited time to grow your list and your reviews? And then you make it paid again. So just make sure you have a clear plan on where you're going with that. And then to answer your part about a way to collect the email, no, there are ways you can do it, like put in the front of the book, go to this page and get a free activity book or free coloring pages, and you direct them from the book to your reader magnet. But then it's almost like the ebook's your reader magnet, but you're directing them to another reader magnet. So maybe that's kind of doesn't make sense, but you could do that. You can even put something in your book description to direct them to the reader magnet. But in general, it's better to have your free thing on your own landing page or on a platform like BookFunnel, where you definitely get the email. Because when they get it on Amazon, you don't get their email.
Yes, exactly. Have a link in your book for the emails. Okay.
Yes.
What dates does the summit run in July?
17 to 21 July.
Okay, perfect.
And you can access the sessions any time of day. It's not like you have to be online at a specific hour.
And do you have any tips for promoting your reader magnet on Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, you can just post about it every so often. And I mean, I don't have probably like genius tips on that, but just post about it. But what I would say, definitely what is important, Instagram's very visual. So if you have, let's say, an activity book, make a nice mock-up or something, have a nice cover so it really looks appealing and people want to go get it. And then the other thing is, like I mentioned, about how you position it, like instead of just like get this free guide, say get this free guide, attach benefit to the guide, right? Or like mention benefits or pain points that people want to solve, like challenges that they have and how the reader magnet could help, or whatever it might be. So just you can, I would say, promote it fairly often and just make it look really appealing and sound really appealing. I guess that's what I have on that.
Great. And that is all the questions. Made it
Alrighty.
through. Again, this is when you consider time and energy on what you're doing to marketing your book, it's my personal belief that growing the email list is very, 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 very high on the list of things to do. So great resource. And the thing about this boot camp and training like this is that we can easily sit here and talk all day about why an email list is important, and that you need to have a lead magnet, and then you need to have a sequence. And it's like me when I was learning calculus, right? When the teacher stood at the front of the class and told us how to do a problem, I was like, got it. Then I didn't do my homework. And then I got to the test and I was like, oh, holy moly, I have zero clue how he got from A to Z. And guess what? I nearly failed calculus. So it's that same kind of concept. Like, it makes sense conceptually. You can see someone else do it. You can see it in action. But if you don't know the steps, if you don't know what to put in your sequence, if you don't know how to connect things up the right way, how to deliver it, all those things, then it's basically just a concept that you keep in your head and can never build out the way that you do. So
that's why it's a 3-day training.
Exactly. There's so much to it. It sounds so easy. Just add a lead magnet to your landing page and grow your email list. It's a piece of cake. It is not a piece of cake. I would say that loudly and emphatically. It's not hard. You just have to know the pieces. And I love it that you do this so broken down into such pieces like this to really walk through the entire process. So wonderful. All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you being with us here today, and our webinar series will continue on through the rest of the year. So if you haven't seen the womeninpublishingsummit.com page, womeninpublishingsummit.com/events, please make sure you check out what we have coming up the rest of the year. Make sure we will send out the replay link, and I'll make sure that you have a link to the boot camp, and I'll get this out as quickly as I can so that you don't lose the fast acting bonus for anybody who is here catching the replay. And Karin, again, thank you so much for all of your support and collaboration. I can't wait to do our event together in October. It's going to be a lot of fun, focusing on more elements than just an email list, obviously, writing, production, marketing in October. And this has been great. We will see you all very soon. Thanks, Karin.
Thank you.